Okay, welcome back to Taco Bola Gaming. My name is Taco Bola. We're going to continue our playthrough tutorial. This is my second time going on the second episode here because I went way too quick the first time through, and I think I went too quick. I think I did more than I really wanted to do in one episode, and I'm not sure I covered everything I really wanted to cover. I do intend for this to be an alternative to the information-based tutorial that I released at the beginning of 1.30 or the end of 1.29 really, and I am meaning this to kind of supplement that as well, that you could be confused about something here, you can go back and look at that. But I do want to cover estates really well. I don't think I covered this as well as I had hoped to in episode 1, so we have a chance to do it in episode 2 here. I think I talked briefly about Crown Land. You have penalties from being below 30%, but let's look at the privileges that I can do. Right now, the equilibrium is at 45 and 37 and 33, which means that they're going to go down. Which means that is a resource that I am not using. By the way, you just hover over the heart shape, the number next to the heart shape, and you can see equilibrium is currently 33.20. Honestly, I would like that to go up, but we'll see. So I could take a look at any of these things, and I could do them. Over here, you have their monthly loyalty. That is the equilibrium. So you click this and you bring up each one's thing. This is their influence. I'm sure if that gets close to 100 we have a problem, but I haven't had it get close to 100 yet. We will lose Crown Land or have no Crown Land, and then our max absolutism, which is something for after the period of this tutorial, for after 1600 or so. By the way, this is July 4th that I'm recording, so I'm sorry if the fireworks get too crazy here. So all of them have to deal with absolutism, which means that if you want max absolutism, which you don't really need, but if you want it, at the end of the game, the second half of the game, you'll have to revoke some of these privileges. I haven't dealt with revoking them yet. Each one of them, clergy is administrative, burghers is diplomatic, and nobility is military, have the ability to get monthly monarch power generation. Monarch power are these things right up here. They're used for a ton of things in the game, but primarily ideas and technology. So we have that is gained from our monarch, and then from our advisors, and then potentially from the nobility, as well as our power projection, but really you don't need to worry about power projection too much in your first game or two. That's something that can be safely ignored, in my opinion. So, I cannot lose 10 Crown Land right now. You can get more Crown Land by just conquering or developing. Every new piece of development you get goes to you. So you can get more Crown Land that way. Or you can click the Siege Land button. Now you can give it away with the sale of titles, and loyalty obviously goes one or both ways on that. But I know that I'm going to siege land because I have the loyalty, and I never will have the loyalty again, or I won't for a while, because it's ticking down to where it would be too low. This sieging land, all estates lose 20 loyalty. By the way, they only gain 10 if you sell titles. They all lose 20 loyalty, which means that they will go under 30 if they're below 50. And if they go under 30, then you have a rebellion in your capital of their kind of rebels. So we're going to siege land now because I can, and that will drop them to 30, no rebels. And now they're all ticking up to their equilibrium. That's where they want to go. So the burghers are trying to get to 33, the clergy to 37, the nobility to 45. Now, if you drop them below 30, you get penalties. Manpower recovery speed, taxes, efficiency. If you drop them below 30, you get some penalties. So I am wanting right now to worry about the burgers because they're at 33. I would like to raise that equilibrium if at all possible. So I'm looking at some of this stuff. We can get yearly prestige. We can get diplomatic advisor cost. We can get trade efficiency goes down, but that's not great. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, that is interesting. Okay. And then free enterprise would be something you could do. That would really help with the equilibrium. But I think I'm going to do diplomatic advisor cost because I don't want to lose taxes. I would love prestige, especially since I'm going to disinherit my heir. But I don't want to lose taxes because we're not doing perfect on economy. I would like to save some of that money. Well, I'm not going to be building buildings. Well, I'll have prestige later. So we're going to do diplomatic advisor cost. Minus 25%. Stability cost I don't really care about right now. And that will help their equilibrium go up. Looking at some of the others, this is another one I could do eventually, something I want to do eventually. For the clergy, give me the yearly papal influence. I have to get 5 papal influence first, though. Courier power cost goes up, but you're not going to deal with that as a beginner, I don't think. This is another one we could do as clergy, but it doesn't help the equilibrium. So I don't really care about it too much. I will want that missionary maintenance cost, but it's not a huge deal to not have it. So right now I'm looking at this and saying I don't want to do any of these because again I can't lose the 10 crown land. That would be me at 24. I don't want to lose that 10 crown land. Well, it's only 24. No, I don't get the penalties again. And so let's look at the nobility. I'm looking at this. This is nice to have eventually, the governing capacity, but I don't need it yet. Don't want to lose the 10. Can't do this until I have 15 army tradition. It wouldn't be a terrible idea to get it. Increased levies, manpower in place of taxes. That's interesting. I don't want to do that because again, taxes. I don't want to lose taxes right now. That's money. And eventually you could turn money into manpower with a certain kind of building. Then you have the military advisor cost. Same deal there. I don't think I need to lose stability cost modifier. It does eventually add up, so I don't think I need that there. And so we're just going to run that one and it'll be good. We are also going to summon the Diet. This is something you can do every, well, I don't know how many years it is. It can't be done again until 1449. I think it's 5 years after you complete the thing. You get 20 years to complete the thing. So clergy request that we invest in the prosperity. So Soria, you need to develop. Each time that the die is a develop, it is 2. So I need to develop with 2 administrative development in Soria. I need to have Navarra as a subject of Castile. Accepting will give me a subjugation CB on Navarra. That's interesting. And then they want me to develop in production. I'm going to do this just because I want to have the subjugation CB, and that will do something amazing for telling you all. That's great. So we have our enemies here. I am going to rival Morocco because I know I'm going to fight Morocco. It's almost guaranteed. And then I have known because I played before, that Aragon is actually friendly with me. Now, that may not be the case in your game. Aragon might not be friendly. They might be. They might have already rivaled you, but not only have they not rivaled me, they've rivaled Morocco, who I just rivaled. So I'm going to offer them an alliance because I would like to have an alliance over here, especially since both England and France have rivaled me. I would like to have an ally over here to help me out. But then I'm going to wait, and I'm going to see if they ally anybody else. Because if Aragon decides to ally, say, France or England, I know England has rivaled them, so that probably won't happen. But they could ally a France, right? Then I do not want to rival someone Aragon has allied. So I'm going to keep this open. You don't get any penalty until the end of a month. And really the only penalty for not too much rivals is power projection, and I said you don't need to worry about that anyway. The other thing to look at is we have a terrible heir in Enrique 000 and Infertile, so I'm going to go ahead and click this button to disinherit him. This is a DLC mechanic, but one of the 3 recommended DLCs. This will lower our prestige down to -41. And we will have massive penalties once I unpause. But it'll be okay. It will be just fine. I am also looking at the missions. I think I already started building. No, I did not. I think some of this might be repeat, because I think my backup may have been too early. I'm going to go ahead and build to the Navy force limit, because I know that in my missions, not only do I have to build to the Army force limit, but because of this one, which I do want, I have to build to the Navy force limit. So I'm going to build this, and I'm sorry if, like I said, if I'm redoing things that I did in episode 1, but I really wanted to do those things, right? I don't have any money to do anything else. So we are going to set our merchants and get going here. And like I think I said, we're going to move Tunis because this is only moving 0.4 ducats into my node, while this is moving 1. So I think that's going to hurt us the least. And then I'm going to get a subjugation CB from the estates. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving my army very quickly. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we don't fall under a personal union with Aragon, but if it does, we will deal with that. Alright, I think we are good to unpause. I'm going to go 2. Alright, so we have our first daily tick done. And Portugal wants to ally me. However, Portugal is allied to England. So I don't really want that. So I want Portugal eventually will be an enemy. It's just a matter of how long until they are. Let's look at this. Okay. The last thing I wanted to do was I'm going to go ahead. National Focus is a DLC mechanic. And I'm going to not focus on anything, because I know that eventually I'm going to want to explore, and explore pretty quickly. So I am going to need admin to get to admin tech 5 to get exploration, and then also going to need diplo power after that. So I am not going to focus on anything, which is a focus. Focus 0 is also a focus, so we're not losing any of those powers. We have 4, 4, and 5. And I'm actually going to be waiting and looking to hire some advisors when we get to that point. Now I already have that CB against them. So you cannot declare a war in the first month of the game, because I want to give you a chance to get some allies up and running. So that is a thing here. Now, Navarra wants to ally me. I want to attack them. So the answer is no. You can right-click any of these to dismiss them. In fact, disputed succession, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that one. We're just going to dismiss that one there. Now, we do start with a truce with Granada, but I think we're going to be waiting for our claims from our missions before we deal with that. Now, one thing I could do, and actually it's not a terrible idea, would be actually to maybe even take a loan and purchase a mercenary company for this war. And I think I'm going to actually do that. So you can take a loan or you can debase currency. Actually, what is our current corruption? Changing? I don't know. You can take a loan or you can debase currency in order to get money. Right here, right now. And what that would do is that would give me a chance to buy a mercenary company, and that way I'm using the mercenary company's manpower, which in this case I would just probably buy this company here and use their general as well. So that would be their 10,000 manpower. If I use their manpower, not only do I get the force limit, but I use their manpower so I don't have to use mine, because I do need manpower as well for this mission. So that is an option. The other option would be to just sit back and take our money. I don't think there's going to be that much manpower that's involved in this war. So let's take a look and see. You have not allied anybody else. So I think I am safe to rival England and Portugal. So France has rivaled me. I haven't rivaled them, but I have rivaled England. What that means is that their rivals, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, so their rivals are someone that I might be able to get an alliance with. Denmark up here will not accept an alliance because they're a long ways away, which makes sense. But theoretically I could. Same with Portugal. Their rivals are people I might get an alliance with. Morocco, Tlemcen, and Granada. Let's look at Tlemcen. They are actually rivaled to Granada and Portugal. They want an ally. That is the fastest way to figure out who are my possible allies if you don't have the DLC. There's a DLC, I don't know which one, that lets you open a diplomacy screen. So if you look at any of my other non-tutorial series, that would be something to do. We are going to offer an alliance to them. And then we know we're going to get Navarra in one of these slots, so we want to save one for that. But let's kind of take a look around and see. Will Austria get an alliance? Austria is very close. It never hurts to have the Emperor. They are rivaled to someone who has rivaled me. So I think if I had rivaled France, they might have done it right now. As it is, we need to open our relations actions and improve relations with them to get this a little bit higher. So we will do that. Another thing is that with a Catholic nation, it is always a good idea to improve relations with the Pope. If the Pope has a positive opinion of you, they cannot excommunicate you, no matter what the Curia controller wants them to do, and we'll get into that term in a later episode. But no matter what they want to do, if the Pope likes you, they won't excommunicate you. Excommunication is very bad as a Catholic. Very bad penalties. The only other thing I wanted to do was to look and see if we have a general, and we do. Let's go ahead and put that general on our army here. And what I am doing as I prepare for war is that I am moving my army into position. So on the 11th of December, I know I can fight. Okay, I can fight, but That's not going to happen because they are allied to Aragon. So this is something that might happen. In fact, it didn't happen the first time I played. I don't want to fight Aragon for Navarro, right? I need to get manpower and things like that. I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm just going to go ahead and offer alliance and try and get a peaceful vassalization right now. There are ways around this, but I have no interest in fighting Aragon right now, so we won't worry about that. Now, you cannot send a diplomat for a month after you send a current diplomat, but we're going to try and race to get our opinion to 190. So we're going to be offering them as much as we can from both money and diplomatic ability to get up to 190. I can show you a little bit of that stuff. A subjugation CB, what that does is it makes it 50% cheaper to make them a vassal than it would be to just take all their land. But that didn't wind up happening for us. So I'm going to move everyone back over here. And I'm going to try and get some money. I'm going to mothball my forts. I'm going to lower my army maintenance. This is a very good way to get money if you have no unrest. If you have unrest, also mothballing your fleet that you're not using to protect trade. This will lower them to 25% health, so you have to build that back up before you use the Navy, but it can help pretty well deal with that. You go to the Navy, you select Mothball H there. I hope you saw what I did the rest of the way. Military, mothball all forts. You can do it manually by going to the province that has the fort icon and clicking this button. If it's unchecked, it's mothballed. Basically, that means there's no one protecting it. And so if I did go to war and someone was able to get there before a monthly tick, before a month is over, that would just automatically fall. The capital is an exception. The capital gets reduced to 1,000 people guarding it. So you'll notice our monarch power went up. It went up by 4, 4, and 5. So that is there. I do think it might be worth it here. Diplomatic reputation. Interesting. Now this is something I don't know. Does our diplomatic reputation affect this? I don't think it does, no. Okay. Military is reinforced speed. I think I will hire him. Personally, I'm sitting here trying to calculate right now whether I should be trying to get the mission complete or trying to get advisors going and build up my monarch power, and I think monarch power is more important. Now you want to get as many royal marriages as you can, particularly if you have no heir. And so we have a royal marriage offer from Aragon, and I will accept that offer. So now I have one royal marriage, which means if I hover over my no legal heir, our chance currently is at 0. Once we have a royal marriage, it should go up to be modified by that royal marriage. There's nothing new I can do here, so just kind of know what it did. So we may need to go up a month. Yep, so it's modified by 5 for a royal marriage. I am going to go speed 3 because I just can't handle speed 2. Alright, so this is good. I cannot send a diplomat until January 11th, but they've sent one to me. So Navarra would like a marriage, and I accept. Austria, I'm also just checking. They now have too many diplomatic relations, so we'll see if they go ahead and go through with this alliance or not. And I still can send one to them on January 11th. So that's good. So it is the 11th. There's many ways that you can get this to go up. The royal marriage is one, right? It goes 25 up that way. The Best way is to just simply improve relations. And that way, every month, it goes up. Now I need another diplomat to do anything else I'm going to do. So I'm going to right-click on the one to Austria, because I just saw that they now have too many diplomatic relations, and they may not want to do that, and I'm going to pull them back. I'm also going to get another advisor. I don't like stability cost modifier. I would like inflation, because my inflation is going up because I have a gold mine. So I can just go ahead and use that one, is what it is. It's the only level one I have. Or I could spend money to fire him and get a new advisor. Money right now is important to me, and so I'm going to just go ahead and hire that one. It's the only one I have, but firing is a possibility. Okay. That's nice. I get 10 diplomatic power. Thank you, Aragon. And so now I can, February 12th, I can offer another one. Now the rest of the things that help you to gain things, because again, I should explain why I'm trying to get to... Okay. I should explain why I'm trying to get to 190. To offer vassalization, you have to have an alliance, and they have to like you by at least plus 190, and they have to be at peace. I need their vassalization to make the nobility happy. And if I don't want to fight Aragon, the only way I really can do that is through this method. And you can see that Aragon is also trying to do it. We're kind of in a race, because Aragon, I'm sure, also wants to make them a vassal. So what you can do is, obviously, you can improve relations. You can royal marry them. You can ally them. That's all something that helps with that. You can also proclaim guarantee. That will get you 10. You can send a gift. That'll give you a certain amount. The screen will tell you, but you have to have 25 to give it. You can offer military access, which will also give you 10. And then, because I'm a great power, I can influence nation. And this small of a nation, I think I have to pay 12 months of their income, which is 5.52, which is not much at all. And so that will increase opinion by 25. And that's what I would like to do first. So then we just have to get to March 13th. Aragon has laid claim to our throne, so this is something, let's go ahead and talk about, you know what, I'm going to talk about that in the next episode. So I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I will see you again in the next episode to talk about what in the world Aragon just did. See you then.